Oh, hail, Liberia, hail, this glorious land of liberty shall long be ours. Though new her name, great be her fame, and mighty be her powers. Though new her name, great be her fame, and mighty be her powers, and mighty be her powers, and mighty be her powers. In joy and gladness, with our hearts united, we shout the freedom of our rest benighted. Long live Liberia, happy land, a home of glorious liberty by God's command, a home of glorious liberty by God's command. God bless Liberia.
In 10 months from now, we will have a new president in the nation. His son not playing for America. His girlfriend not in Ghana. He ain't got children all over the place. All his family right here. He been married for 50 years. He's a family man. He's a deacon in the church. He is not a fake pastor. He's a truly decent, honorable, humble man. And when he becomes president, he will lift this country up, and then he will prepare us, the young people, and he will turn it over to us. And together, we will take this country, and we'll move with this country, and Liberia will become what it can be, that sweet land of liberty. Not sweet land of liberty for a few people, not sweet land of liberty for Congo people or country people, but for all Liberians. Some of you ask me, why do you support Joseph Human Boakai for president? Do you know the story about Joseph in the Bible? Joseph's brothers were so jealous of him. They sold him into slavery. But they didn't know what they were doing. They were his destiny helpers, and they didn't know that. And then famine would fall upon the land, and they would go and seeking food. And their brother had now become prime minister, and he would help them. This Joseph that we have, this Joseph who was betrayed by Ellen to put this monster upon us. When I told the Liberian people Kojologo and poison, I told you it will happen. I said, you take the Kojologo, it may be better, but it will make you well. But when you drink the poison, it will kill you. Today we are dying. We are dying. But I come here to give you hope. This flag will fly once again. It will fly once again. And we will build a Liberia where your children and my children can have a great future. Where you don't have to go to America to own a car. You don't have to go to a foreign country to own a house. You can live in this country with the blessings that God has bestowed on us. We can make this country work for every human being in this country. But to do that, you must have the right leadership to do that. Natural resources cannot build a country. A country is built by visionary leadership. Honest leadership. A leadership of integrity. And that is the leadership that Joe Boakai will bring to this country. And I have said this. I'd rather not be senator. I would give up my senatorial aspirations in order for Joe Boakai to be president if I have to. And you know why? Because as senator, what significant difference would I make in the Senate if we don't have a decent president in the mansion? But with the right president and Pedro in the Senate, we can change this country. We will make good laws that will benefit all of our people.
Folks, welcome. Welcome to this special broadcast. Um, I call it Let's Talk. I just want to be able to talk to you. How are you all doing today? Wherever you are, if you are watching online, radio, whatever medium you're watching us from, what part of the continent you're watching us from, welcome to this special broadcast. You know, psychology is very, very good. And this is what we will be doing. What you just came from watching, the words of Henry Costa, we will use his own words against him and against the CDC. It's very good and it's very effective. Very effective. So people on the other side would not believe him. So people on the other side would not trust him. It is about time for us to begin to build character in our Liberian society. It is, folks. People don't have character anymore. People don't have the recipe for character. They don't. And that is why the society that is filled with no character, lawbreakers, violators, killers, stealers, people who go around to steal, and lawbreakers are being rewarded. That is the society that we are living in now as a people. A society where people who do not respect the rule of law are rewarded for their wrongdoing. So we see that betrayal at the apex of institutions, betrayal everywhere. People don't respect their own words. People don't respect what they stand for. And if you lose that as a human being, as a person, you've lost your identity. Your word must be your bond. It represents who you are. It represents what you stand for. In the absence of that, you are for nothing. You've lost your identity. That's why it is with the endorsement of CPP, because from day one, a lot of us knew that CPP was Madam Johnson Sirleaf, baby, manufacturer. We saw that. And it's sit around on platforms, on radios, and cry wolf and talk as though they know better. You know? But do you believe it now? Alexander Cummings sitting on the sideline trying to protect his character is not good for him either. Because every smart and well-meaning Liberian understands that he's behind this endorsement. He just doesn't want to show, didn't want to show his face to it. He is. It's clear cut. But it's a shame. It's a shame because I talked about this same character earlier. This is what he has stand for. He stood for. He's fought for the good things for the Liberian people. He fought for a better future. He campaigned vigorously. Jehovah Witness Star campaign. Said every damning thing about George Weah-led government. So to see him come today, the ANC and the CPP endorsing George Weah, it's shocking. There's no character. You see, we understand politics. Politics, yes, we know it's politics, but politics at the detriment of the country future. Politics at the detriment of the people, the young people lives. You call that politics? No. There is a saying that says, stand up for what is right, even if you have to stand alone. So people knew, we all knew from the onset, that CPP, ANC CPP, was an embryo of Madam Johnson Sirleaf. That's what it was. And you see what's happening. So all the rare card they have given. Remember at the ATS, when they were doing their final launching, they gave a rare card to the George Weah-led government. And now, you play soccer, I play soccer. When you give someone a red card, they don't even sit on the sideline to watch the game. They are taken out of the field, out into the locker room. I've never in my life seen someone give someone a red card and bring that person back to play on the field. The ANC has done that. And we will hold them accountable come 2029. Because all those politics, they think they are smart, they're trying to play, it's not going to work. Because if Alexander Cummings was to stand on the right side of history, he will have a second chance come 2029. But more or less, the way things are heading, he might end up like one Baker Matthews. He might just end up like one like Baker Matthews. May his soul rest in peace. He will run, he will spend his money, resources, and campaign all his life, but he will never become president in that country. Liberian people are smart. Liberian people, remember, we do. If you know what happened to G. Baker Matthews, well known in the country, all his career, politician number one, could never sit at the helm of power in our country. Oh, Cummings, a man with good character, a leader who does not take stand, a leader who is not willing to take a stand. What do you say? What does that say about you? What does that say about you? If when judgment is called, when you're at a crossroad as a leader and you have to take that hard core decision, you put the country first, not your personal interest, not what you've gone through, the hatred and all of that, the betrayals, whatever you may call it. The country comes number one. If someone who claims that he's a leader, this kind of simple decision and cannot take it, that's the kind of man you're going to go give power to? Huh? Did you guys see another endorsement that the UP picked up today? A man of character, he had to take a stand. Kebbi Njane. He said there's no way to, this is not elections that one has to sit on the sideline. This is a defining moment in the history of our nation. And so because it is a defining moment, this movement does not call for anyone to take a stand or, stand on the sideline. It's time for you to take a stand. And a well-meaning Liberian. But people will do what they want to do. It's all because of greed, money. We see what Costa is doing. And that's why I'm using Costa's video against himself and against his people. That's smart. That's smart politicking. That is why I use Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf videos reaffirming their position. Yeah. That's it. This is Cummings. Listen to his words. A man who does not have the backbone to say, I belong on this side. If history is going to judge me, let history judge me. Watch this.
I mentioned we plan to win. So we planning to win in the first round. That may or may not happen, but that's the plan, right? Seriously, that's the plan. Now, in an unlikely case, we'll support the opposition candidate and we'll support it publicly. So, I'm on record here, and I mean it. I say what I mean what I say. We'll support the opposition candidate if we don't make it to the second round. But I am confident with the work we're doing, with the cover around Liberia, we're making our case. We will win in the first round, and
those were the words of Alexander Cummings. He said those words himself. He said, I'm on record. But he's telling us that that doesn't mean anything. And his surrogates of Alexander Cummings going to say, oh, that is why he's sitting down. That is why the party has decided to go forward to do whatever against his will, blah, blah, blah. And he's not endorsing anybody personally or individually. That's why. That's complete BS. Who doesn't know that the ANC party is surrounding, everything about the ANC party is surrounding around Alexander Cummings? And that is why I'm against individuals who form political parties not on an institutional level or basis. Because when you form an institution, one person cannot run it all. That is the problem with Liberian political parties. Only few that you'll find institutions. And UP is one of them. If Joseph Numa Boakai doesn't win or he's not there today, the party will still run. It will still run. But if Alexander Cummings withdraw himself completely from the ANC, there is no more ANC. It will collapse. That's the truth. So where's the idea here, the common sense, wisdom, everything is surrounding him? So let's talk. What do you think about the endorsements that are taking place? Are they significant? Are they important? To you? We saw a big one yesterday. That was a big one with ARCOP, endorsing the UP. And even at that, CDC tried to undermine it, but it doesn't work. People are smart, smarter than that, right? ARCOP, the entire body, the Standard Bureau, everything, this is something they all agree after consultations. You saw the crowds. You saw the people. That is a big endorsement for the Unity Party. It almost looks like when you go fishing. You go fishing and you catch a big catfish. Not the small Bugatti we're talking about over there. A big catfish from the river. That is why Unity Party got yesterday, the opposition got yesterday. If you preached all these years against the George Weah-led administration for years, against the ills of society, against the killings of innocent people, and no conclusive investigations taking place, against bringing drugs into the country, all of that, against the poor healthcare, against poor governance, embezzlement, stealing taking place, looting of government funds, resources, irresponsible spending. If you talked about that all in the past, and today you are endorsing that, do you know what that means? That means you support that too. You support the bringing of drugs into the country to destroy our youth and the future generation of this country. That's what's going on. When you endorse that, so it undercuts your message. Everything that Alexander Cummings and the ANC and CPP have stood for, their endorsement undercuts all of that. That they support that. So everything they've been saying to Liberian people, guess what? It's nonsense. Complete nonsense. They have been saying to the Liberian people. And so the Liberian people should be resolved at this point to send a very strong message on November 14th at the ballot box. They need to send that message because this is madness. They are telling the Liberian people that you're stupid. We can use you and you'll still put us in power. That's it. If you can preach your message, you can preach against bringing drugs into the country. You preach against, unscrupulous embezzlement taking place into the country, in the coffers of government. If you can preach against people dying and missing mysteriously and not accounted for, if you can preach against all of that, poor healthcare system, and today you're on a pulpit, you're in the same room with that person that you have preached against. That means I don't even know what adjective to use on that. Yeah. If I can preach against the devil and I'm sleeping with the devil, I'm like the devil too. The devil and I are the same. That's it. So, Liberian people, I just came to talk. I just feel like I needed to talk. And the next thing I want to bring to book is this. The National Election Commission. We got a few days left, less than 2 weeks for elections, for you guys to go to the ballot box. Nobody understands or knows what the national election is doing right now. If you have a common sense, believe me, they're probably trying to find every loophole to making sure that George Weah wins. That's what they're trying to do. They have a full understanding that entity, the National Election Commission, they have a full understanding that if Joseph Nyeoma Boakai wins and become president, it will be restructured and it will be an independent entity to bring vibrancy to that institution, to bring clarity and not politicize that institution. It will not be a presidential appointment. It will be an elected position entity because well-meaning lawyers are recommending that. That is it. The National Election Commission. That is why they are biased, because they feel that the person that appointed them, they owe them some sort of loyalty. That's why they are corrupt. That is why the cloud of doubt is hanging over them. Folks, may God help Liberia, man. We see Liberia from all different lenses. But at least when you're looking at something, you got to see a better lens. And sometimes it baffles me as to from what position our leaders are looking at Liberia, from which lens they are looking at Liberia, from what position they are looking at Liberia. A colleague of mine, Vani Saki, said this long before when they all over CPP was together, Benana, Uri, Cummings, JMB, the UP, when here in Atlanta, JMB came to visit and had a luncheon. And Saki stood because this is someone who is an insider and is related to Madam Salif. And so Saki knew very well when they formed this CPP, it was Madam Salif's intention to destroy Boakai. He knew that when it was formed. So because he didn't like what his auntie, Madam Salif, is doing, her intentions, he never worked for her. He had the opportunity to work in that government. He had it. But the love of country, when you have the love of country, it supersedes everything. It supersedes everything. Even your own egotistic dreams, it supersedes all of that. That's what happens. Listen to this. Listen, I'm about to play that video, a clip of video about Vani, what he had to say. So it was not Joe Boakai, it was a setup against Joseph Boakai, so he will fail. Thank God he listened, or else he would have been passed by now, talked about. Their agendas would have been accomplished. That's it. Listen to this.
I want to come and answer your question. But the problem is, babe, not due to you. Honorable VP, you are left on life. That today, Liberians are proud to do the worship because we believe that you possess the qualities that our country needs to move forward.
So,
your political alignment with the CPP is dangerous. I'm coming to sugarcoat to put anything around my world because I'm a young man who don't get the two pieces of advice in the corner. I come to you today, publicly to ask you, as you get ready to return to Liberia, when you get back home, call your three colleagues, sit together and divorce.
so,
Divorce. It's good to get married. When a man and woman come together, they do it in good faith. If the attitude they marry can't put them together, they divorce for his sake. Divorce now so that we can rally the forces behind you. So that 2023, your path to the presidency can be wide. I see dangerous thing with the CPP. The more you talk together, the more the CPP is destructive, they're unproductive. And with that continue to happen, you open a page for re-election of President William. It's clear, you cannot hide, you cannot pretend it. The marriage is not holy. You pretend it is destructive, it's unproductive. Please, Mr. VP, you have the country needs to move forward. Liberians will not be voting based on party, they'll be voting based on what they are going through. And today they see you as a messiah. I call you Joseph Clement Boakai. The only plan you are committed for which Liberia are prosecuted is your refusal to steal.
so.
Almost 90% will tell you divorce. Divorce now so we can bring everybody together and take it to the mountain. God bless you.
Vani.
That happened years ago. And thank God, Joseph Njoman Boakai listened. Because by now it would have been a complete disgrace. That's what it would have been. So having Musa Belete inside there, having Cummings inside there, all Benin Ayuri, all those people, all those parties, it was all masterminded by Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Sometimes people wonder why. Why is it Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's hands are still, her tentacles are still in the corridors of power in Liberia? Have you ever thought of that? You may think, oh, when you see her, she just celebrated her birthday. Oh, she's old. Or she has what they call, you know, an octopus? An octopus has tentacles from all over. That is Madam Salif. And the only person that understands that very well is Joseph Nyeoma Boakai, because he knows where all those tentacles are and he knows how to eliminate them. And that is why she is doing everything possible that those tentacles, wherever they are lying, wherever they are stuck, whatever tree they're holding, whatever finance or vault they are surrounded around, Joseph Nyeoma Boakai understands that he knows Madam Johnson Sirleaf's tentacles wherever they are stretching, so he understands how to delete them and cut them off. That is the fear. That is why you see the fight. That is why Alexander Cummings is hesitant to endorse. That is why. The moment that is upon us is a moment of now and not 2029. When 2029 comes, we'll think about that. We'll do what it has to offer. But this moment as a leader, when the trumpet sound and you stay in your house, you don't want to get out and see who is sounding the trumpet or in what direction is the trumpet moving. And you sit down. 2029, you're going to come, you say, you leader. You will stay like Bago Matthew. Yeah. That will happen. I didn't mean any insult to my Basa people. Thank God they understand where I'm coming from. But when you don't understand the politics, when you don't understand Mama Liberia and you put Liberia front and center, beyond your ego, beyond your pride, beyond your friends, beyond. The minute you begin to understand that, the better your political organization becomes. Lucini Kamara understands that. Our COP leader. Everything that he has stood for and championed against CDC, he felt within his heart and soul that he will be on the wrong side of history if he were to endorse CDC. That's how you know a good leader. That win or no win, let me be on the good side of history, because tomorrow history will judge me. My children will come after me. That your children will ask, well, all the bad things that were happening under the men leadership, and the moment came for you to steer the ship, to stand up for your followers to follow you. Which side were you? On whose side were you? Folks, I will continue to use all of this against them. Listen to this next jingle.
This coming voting will come and go for. It will be between two parties, oh.
Yes, so and we come and go vote again.
Exactly so. Who come and vote?
But this other voting part, Papa Joseph Nyeoma Boakai will win it clear.
Clear, I agree with you. The Papa will win. But the way I look at you, you don't even know the number Papa Boakai is on all the voting papers say.
I beg you, yeah. Who tell you so? He is on number 1 on the voting paper. With Jeremiah Pankun. Press him.
What you get it correct, yeah, my sister. He is on number 1 on this other voting we come and do. You will see 2 men sitting side by side. Joseph Nyeoma Boakai and Jeremiah Pankun. If you go vote, you will see red side Jeremiah Pankun. That replace the voting box air. You must vote red inside that box. But take time so your vote will be correct. Mark only in the box, don't pass it.
Yes, so I will vote inside the first box right near Jeremiah Kun. I will make sure that no ink on my finger will touch anywhere on the ballot paper.
Thank you.
Except in the box read by Jeremiah Kun. And I will make sure my line will not cross the box. us.
Thank you. The Unity Party Rescue Mission is ready to win this election. Clear, my people. Let's share our Kolo. Let's vote Joseph Nyuma Boakai and Jeremiah Pankun number 1 on the ballot paper. Yeah, my people.
Remember to not give your voting card to anyone.
Don't do it.
Especially those who going around asking for people voting card.
Oh yeah.
Your voting card is what you will use to vote on election day. The Unity Party Rescue Team says you should think Liberia, love Liberia, and build Liberia by voting number 1 on November 14, 2023.
Okay, folks. So there you have it. Number 1 is on the ballot. The next thing I want to be able to address here is this: voter tracking. I'm talking to all those counties that have neighboring, that are surrounded with other countries. On our map, let me bring it up. You have Maryland, River G, Grand Crew, Bomi. Is that Bomi? Lofa, Bapolo, Nimba, Grand G there. You see them? There's a reason why I brought that on the screen for you guys to see. I need you guys to understand. I know the politics, the tribal politics, right? I understand it fully well because there are interrelated marriages or relationships along those borders. But why do you think they call it a border? Here in the US has a common border with Canada, with Mexico as well. The borders are protected, heavily protected. Every day, even as I speak, people want to come to the US, smuggling, trying to come in, they're trying to stop them. Because they understand that if they come in this country, they could affect elections in this country, somewhere, somehow. Because when you have, that's why you see now the Spanish speaking, the Hispanic, they are in a larger numbers now in the US. And along the way, they get their statuses, they get their green cards, most of them citizenship. And so when you get that now, you have the right now to vote. Voting elections are very crucial because they change the dynamics, the population of people. They make decisions for people. How'd you call it? By tribe or certain locality. That's what that does. So when you sit in Lofa County, you work in Lofa County, you do your farming in Lofa County, you do your businesses in Lofa County, you only go across the border in Guinea, Australia to buy produce or sell your goods, trade. When they are having their election, they shut their borders down because they don't want you to cross to go and vote and make decisions that will affect them. But when we are having our election, you see that as an advantage to bring them in. People who do not reside in those or live in those localities, you bring them in, you truck them in to come and decide for the people that live there. Just so you, for your so greedy behavior or your so greed, as a leader, whoever is on the ballot, whoever is doing that, just for your own self-greed, you put your self-greed above country. So your people start suffering. And when the people come now and vote and you win, they're gone. Who are you leading now? Who are you controlling in that locality? The very people, organic people that live there, don't approve you. They know that they didn't vote for you. They knew that you brought people in from other places to come and vote for you in their locality. And now that those people are gone, who are you going to govern? You are going to govern the people that you truck into your district. You are going to govern the people that you truck or you brought into your district. People who do not live there. Not even a house they have there. Not even a palava hut they have there in that district. This has to stop, folks. This must stop. Because if you don't do this, you are disenfranchising those people prosperity. You have to do that. Folks, this is not something to take lightly. When you are doing voter trucking, when you're taking people from Monrovia, people from other district, bringing them into your own district, or cross-border trucking and all of that, it doesn't help. It doesn't. So we must stop that. You see the reason why when you go to Israel, Israel is at war, right? When we go to Israel, you'll find out that the border between Palestine and Israel is a concrete wall, almost 15-foot high wall. Maybe we need to start doing this, but it'll be very difficult to do that because Liberia resources, yeah, we have enough resources as a nation, as a country, but the people that are in power don't see good, don't see how they can develop and make your district work better. Nothing. Everybody want to get money to put in their pocket. They're thinking they are making their lives better. Why? You're making the lives of other people worse. The resources in our country are so much well enough that if managed well, can be equitably distributed to every Liberian, and every Liberian will live a meaningful life. Liberia can eradicate poverty. Other nations are fighting to eradicate poverty in our country, while we are fighting to make it worse for our people. If you sit and you see the integrity icons that are coming behind Unity Party, that should send a very strong message for any youth to realize that why, in some shape and form, reputable nations around the world wish that Joseph Numa Boakai becomes president. Why is it that every well-meaning person in that country of Liberia is endorsing Joseph Numa Boakai? Why? If you see the gone election where 50 lawmakers are out and they will not be returning, that should tell you that there's something wrong with the Weah-led administration. That's a strong message that was sent. So come November 14, the branches, I always say, hey, those lawmakers and the other people that never returned, they voted them out. The tree itself is still standing, right? And that tree is CDC. You know that the only way those branches that were voted out will not flourish anymore, will not come back, is you have to cut the tree. And you should do that at the ballot box. That is why you ought to do at the ballot box, folks. Very important. This is Friday. I just want to sit and talk. Let's talk. That's how I call it. Let's speak reason Let's talk wisdom. Let's talk common sense. Let's talk. For the interest of the country, let's talk. For the betterment of Mama Liberia, let's talk. This little suffering that you've been through, you can get rid of it. Come October or November 14th. We must stand as a people. This is what they will give you. Rice, peppers, and some of you money. You see what happening? They're giving you all rice to vote for them. Why will you allow someone to buy your vote? Take the rice, take the money, and don't vote for them. This is it. Don't vote for them. Yeah. Why I'm sitting here, folks, I beg to tell you that I'm humble to tell you that we will be having a fundraiser coming up this Sunday to protect LOFA votes, FOIA votes, votes specifically for FOIA. And I urge every one of you to partake, to be a part of it, a live fundraiser. The votes, the 87 polling places in FOIA must be fully protected this time around. Because what happened, you learn from your past. What happened the last time? Every well-meaning supporter for Unity Party, every son of FOIA, and every mother and every daughter and every child of FOIA must participate, must get involved. Don't sit there, do something. Because what? History will judge every one of us one day. That as a son of FOIA, as a daughter of FOIA, what did you do when everything was on the line? What did you do? What did you do? And that's why I mentioned earlier about these endorsements that are taking place. Oh, the party endorsed. Oh, Alexander Comey didn't endorse. He's sitting now on the fence. It's all nonsense. If you understand how the politics of the ANC and RCPP works, you'll realize that endorsement is Alexander's Cummings endorsement too. Because he is the only one that has the voice. Where the money? Where they getting money? All that thing they've been running the campaign. Where they getting money from to run it? They're not Alexander Cummings. If Alexander Cummings sit down right now and for a packet and sit down, all of them that were going over there, that for money business. That for money. They just wanted to eat from him. When people tell people like Alexander Cummings, we used to sound as some of us that you have people around you that are very deceptive and money driven. That's all they are after you, to lick it. Just to lick it. Louis Brandon. All of them. You see it now? So everything you have stood against, now they're forcing you, now they have gone to and go endorse it. All those guys. That's it. They're licking the money around you. And now you didn't win. They're forcing you. They want to go again where the money is so they can go lick it there again. That is the only reason why they have endorsed the CDC. Because they want to go lick it there again. Because Jawia dishing enough because he has the vote of the country in his hand. The ATM is in his house. The ATM in his house, so they want some. But all of that is the people's money, the people's suffering, the taxpayers' money. And you are giving it around. You are distributing it as though it is your own personal property. That is why the vice president, Joy Howard Taylor, said, anybody who ever worked for their money, they will never give money all of that and distribute money. So when they bring it, you're going to take it and eat it. On her campaign trail. Because you and I know, you and I work, And when we get that paycheck, we just don't give people or distribute it around or give it as though we don't have use for it. Money people do not work for. That's just how it goes. And they are using it at the detriment of the country. They are using it at the detriment of your children, you mothers, single fathers, who have your children sitting down and not even having the option and the privilege of going to school. They say free tuition, nothing. But you find more children out in the street with the option of free tuition, but you have more children not attending or going to school. You have that right to exercise November 14th. It is your constitutional right. And Unity Party, please, if the people can sacrifice themselves and do all this, go beyond all length to protect the ballot box. Because it is only at the ballot box that CDC can steal. Let me tell you, the whole Gong election, the first phase that took place, it was clear. I'm not the only one that's saying it. They themselves confessed it. That it was clear that Joseph Nyeman Boakye won on the first ballot. But because you failed to protect the ballot boxes or the polling station, to follow through with a count, and you left some of those polling stations open and didn't send anybody there, CDC decided to take advantage. They said, we'll teach them sense. That's what happens. So they stuff it up in those areas. And you need to realize the essence of having your observers to every polling station, because CDC is working along with NEC. So they can easily tell them, we have a low turnout at this polling station, so we're going to have to divert, because you have other people observing on the other side, and it's very critical over there, and they are very keen with their observations. So guess what? On the other side, if there's a low turnout, whoever the NEC worker is, there's a low turnout here. And if that low turnout has about 500 ballot papers and stuff, and there's only 200 that show up, guess what will happen to the 300? They will go in favor, because they are already in cahoots. They have already connived. They have shared identities, because why? They want to stay in power. That if George Weah wins, they will not lose their positions, but it's not about their positions. It is about the direction in which the country is heading. The direction the country is heading. That's it.
Hi, I'm Joseph Nyeman Boakye Sr. This is me. I speak Mende fluently. I speak Creole. I speak.
You sabi talk Creole.
Yeah, boy. What you want me to teach you?
I am.
And the delegation was Mrs. Boakye now.
Right.
They came to beg, and at that time I was attending the university, and I could see that she had a crush on me. I tell you, July 29th.
Let's speak out of song.
Rescue.
Just in the market.
Let's eat.
Set it breezy.
There was a time in the land people suffering. No food to eat, no job to do, push killing people. My man Ray, tell me if you don't stay. But God send me to rescue. Number one feeling, take you push with Fini. Number one feeling, I shut down with Fini. Rescue team Billy, help you improving. Number one feeling, there's a rejoicing. Number one feeling, oh yeah, oh feeling, oh yeah. Number one feeling, oh yeah, oh yeah. Rescue team Billy, oh yeah, oh feeling, oh yeah. Number one feeling, oh yeah, oh yeah. When you go vote, check number one and go. When you go vote JMB JKK. Number one. I've decided to follow rescue team. Me and my family will follow rescue team. Number one. Vote number one to stop your children from taking push. Vote number 1 to make your life to be improved. For Boaka Bene, I will pray my bag, baby. For Jacob Bene, I will pray my bag. Number 1 feeling, taking push with Bini. Number 1 feeling, hash it down with Bini. Rescue team feeling, help you improving. Number 1 feeling, they say rejoicing. Number 1 feeling, oh yeah, oh feeling, oh yeah. Number 1 feeling, oh yeah, oh yeah. Rescue team feeling, oh yeah, oh feeling, oh yeah. Number 1 feeling, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Number 1 education, number 1 sanitation, number 1 agriculture, number 1. No time for discussion. Rescue tree number 1. What time my mama say? Rescue tree number 1. West Street, can't show me on West Street.
Vote for your future and vote for the coach to have a man can make it. You not to pay my man, yes, Paul. You look at the winner, my people, you're dying. My people that stand on his name for the nation. Full I right.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number 1, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number 2, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
Politics, Mr. President, that's everybody's favorite. I don't know why, but our country is becoming too political. The conversation is about 2017. It's starting so soon. You agree?
I'm concentrating on just carrying out my presidential duties right now.
But my president, we're going to talk about 2017 a little bit, though.
Okay, what you going to talk?
You're vice president.
Mm-hmm.
He's worked with you 2 terms, and of course, coming to the end of your term, he declared that he accepted a petition from the people of Louisville County. I know in some way you have shown or expressed your intent to support him, but I just have to ask the question one more time. Where do you stand with your party and, of course, the vice president?
Look, let me be clear. It's more than hinting.
Okay.
Although there are many candidates who may make good presidents, but I say I'm supporting the vice president because I know that he's the most prepared, he's the most experienced, he's the one that's going to ensure continuity, building upon the progress we already have. Now, that's my commitment, and I believe in him. I've worked with Vice President Boaka long before I became president and he became vice president.
Okay.
You know, we're working in NGO sector, you know, and there I learned to trust him and to respect him. I still do. And I said, despite who the opposition, the candidates, with all what they may have and all their attributes and whatnot, I say he's the best person.
And you're going to support him?
Absolutely.
And how far are you going to take that support, Madam President?
Wait now, what are you talking about?
I mean, you'll be in the trenches, in the slums, campaigning for him.
Of course.
In 10 months from now, we will have a new president in the nation. His son not playing for America. His girlfriend not in Ghana. He ain't got children all over the place. All his family right here. He been married for 50 years. He's a family man. He's a deacon in the church. He's not a fake pastor. He's a truly decent, honorable, humble man. And when he becomes president, he will lift this country up, and then he will prepare us, the young people, and he will turn it over to us. And together, we will take this country, and we'll move with this country, and Liberia will become what it can be, that sweet land of liberty. Not sweet land of liberty for a few people, not sweet land of liberty for Congo people or country people, but for all Liberians. Some of you ask me, why do you support Joseph Newman Boakai for president? Do you know the story about Joseph in the Bible? Joseph's brothers were so jealous of him. They sold him into slavery. But they didn't know what they were doing. They were his destiny helpers, and they didn't know that. And then famine would fall upon the land, and they would go and seeking food. And their brother had now become prime minister, and he would help them. This Joseph that we have, this Joseph who was betrayed by Ellen to put this monster upon us. When I told the Liberian people Kojologo and poison, I told you it will happen. I said, you take the Kojologo, it may be better, but it will make you well. But when you drink the poison, it will kill you. Today we are dying. We are dying. But I come here to give you hope. This flag will fly once again. It will fly once again. And we will build a Liberia where your children and my children can have a great future. Where you don't have to go to America to own a car. You don't have to go to a foreign country to own a house. You can live in this country with the blessings that God has bestowed on us. We can make this country work for every human being in this country. But to do that, you must have the right leadership to do that.
Okay, folks. Thank you for that break we had, and we back, but we are back to end the show. Can you imagine that? So the thing here is this. For me to close, I want you guys to realize this. That is why every radio station and online platform that is against the CDC is supposed to be playing. It's also play all those words, all that campaign time of Costa. Because you know the psychology, why he's campaigning now, his own words will be campaigning against him. And you know when you do that too, what's happening? Look at the sedition that have worked so hard over the years to get CDC and George Weah where it is. And George Weah just turned his back on all of them by bringing Costa and his family on board and giving them money, compensating them huge sums of money. While you, the seditions that suffer, that work so hard, you got no pay. Nothing. Nada. So the only message, your resentment, your frustration, the only best way you can vent it out is by voting against CDC and vote for Unity Party. That's it. That is it. Because monkey wear Bible draw that eat it. Y'all work so hard, the fool, time to eat it. The person that been kicking against you and cursing the hair out of you. You saw it. I want to play that tape. That person, Henry Costa, and all the likes that coming on board now, they curse the hair out of you. They gave you all kinds of whatever, shots or chloroquine or whatever, bojologo or whatever you call it, bitter root. Some of you, in the midst of that, you lost your families and loved ones and friends. Some of them got injured. Now, the only way George Weah can do, the only way he can thank you guys is by bringing them on board. You think that was a wise move? You think that was a good, genuine move? I don't care how politically it is, because he's not going to move any needle. Costa's coming on board right now, the CDC train or whatever it is. It's not going to change anything. It's over. He's just go all over the place because, number one, he has no character. And I bet you most of the seditians do not even trust him. They don't. Even those in the hierarchy of the CDC don't trust Costa. They don't. So why have him around? Why have a bar apple around when you know, or buy orange when you know as soon that orange get rotting, the rest of the oranges will smell. That is what Costa is now to you guys. His political future is destroyed. Costa's political future is destroyed. He is that bad orange among group of oranges that you put together and a rotting. And when you're rotting, the rest of the oranges will smell. And why your tail? Are your trouble? You're finna taking so. And President, we are bringing him on board. What he said to y'all, he didn't appreciate all your hard work there. So now is the time for you guys to send a strong message to President Weah. Say, this that you have done to us, you too, and your Costa, you don't deserve the presidency. We are going to vote for JMB. That is all you have to do. That should be your only resentment. That should be your only way to say no. That's it. That's the word I'm going to leave with you guys. Tomorrow we'll be here. We'll be here tomorrow with the Kissy program. All of you guys who follow. Oh, my man, Emmanuel Ebenezer. Mr. Doko, how you doing? Jasper? All of you guys, Josiah, thanks for following the show today. Highly appreciate you guys for following the show. My time here is over. You know, for the next 2-3 days, as you can see, I'm changing backgrounds. So I'm moving, right? But I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow. We got to have a talk. We got to have a talk. Let's have a talk. This is what I will be calling it for the next 2 days. Join me. Let's talk. It is a talk that concerns the nation of Liberia. It is a talk that concerns the future of Liberia. It is a talk that concerns the children of Liberia. It is a talk that concerns the youth. It is a talk that we will talk about to expose greed, to expose drugs activities, to expose corruption, to expose those who claim they are in the interest of Liberia and are not. That is the talk we will be having, folks. Liberia is all we have. And God has not been selfish to that nation. God has been grateful. God has blessed that nation. This time, we all praying that he take control. Yeah, because the people we have over there, they're not in control. They're out of control. They're not in control. Completely out of control. So, folks, every good thing must come to an end. Protect the vote. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hope you enjoy your last piece of song here. As you can see, when you see integrity, you know. Yeah, integrity right there. That's it.
Those who voted for change must have now realized that the president they voted for has left this country paralyzed. If you voted for him, but you're also feeling the pain, I hope you do your best to see it never happens again. Are you waiting for the change? You'll be waiting in vain. I don't think that this government employed anybody with brain. It's only gonna get worse, and the truth is you can't complain. For the suffering and all the pain, you only have yourself to blame. We should have never voted a candidate without a certificate.
The people cry, oh, 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 oh.
The people cry, oh, you better leave it. The people cry, oh, I can't risk again. The people cry, oh, the people suffering, oh, the people suffering, oh, you better leave it. The people suffering, oh, the people suffering, oh, the country bleeding, oh, amen. The country suffering, oh, living, the people suffering, oh, the people suffering, oh, yes, the llamas cry, oh, in her grave. Hey, how about yes, so I cry, oh, in his grave. The people cry, oh, the people cry, oh, Matthew Innes cry, oh, in his grave. The auditors cry, oh, in their grave. The people cry, oh, the people cry, oh, Martinez cry, oh, in his grave. Princess Cooper cry, oh, in her grave. Leave it, the people cry, oh, the people cry, oh,